everyone. My name is Wafiki. I'm going to do a presentation about one of the major topics, which is child abuse. Child abuse is one of the major contributing factor in a child's well-being. It affects most of the students in universities, colleges, and any other schools around the country. Today, I'm going to define what is child abuse. Alright, child abuse is any intentional harm or mistreatment to a child under 18 years is considered as child abuse. Child abuse takes many forms which occurs at the same time. There are 5 forms of child abuse. Number 1, physical abuse. Physical abuse occurs when a child is purposely physically injured or put at risk of harm by another person. Number 2, sexual abuse. A child's sexual abuse is any sexual activities with a child. This can involve sexual contact such as intentional sexual touching, oral genital contact, or intercourse. This can also involve non-contact sexual abuse of a child, such as exposing a child to sexual activity or pornography, observing or filming a child in a sexual manner, sexual harassment of a child, or prostitution of a child, including sex trafficking. Number 3 is emotional abuse. Emotional abuse of a child occurs means injuring a child's self-esteem or emotional well-being. It includes verbal and emotional assaults such as continually belting or berating a child, as well as isolating, ignoring, or rejecting a child. Number 4 is medical abuse. Medical child abuse occurs when someone gives false information about the illness in a child and requires medical attention, putting the child at risk of injury and unnecessary medical care. The 5th and the final one is neglect. Child neglect is failure to provide adequate food, clothing, clean living condition, affection, supervision, and the most important one is education or dental or medical care. Alright, now we will look into the symptoms of child abuse. A child who's being abused may feel guilty, ashamed, or confused. A child may be afraid to tell anyone about abuse, especially if the abuser is a parent or relatives or family friends. That is why it is vital to watch for red flags such as withdrawal from friends or usual activities, changes in behavior such as aggression, anger, hostility, or hyperactivity, or change in school performance. Continuous depression, anxiety, or unusual fears, or a sudden loss of self-confidence, sleep problems and nightmare, an apparent lack of supervision, frequent absences from school, self-harm or attempts, and rebellious. Alright, physical abuse signs and symptoms. Unexplained injuries such as bruises, broken bone, or fracture or burn. Injuries that don't match the given explanation, injuries that aren't compatible with the child's development ability. Alright, now we will look at sexual abuse signs and symptoms. Sexual behavior or knowledge that's inappropriate for the child's age, pregnancy, or sexual transmitted infection, genital or anal pain, bleeding, or injury, statements by child that he or she was sexually abused, appropriate sexual behavior with other child. Emotional abuse signs and symptoms. Delayed or inappropriate emotional development, loss of self-confidence or self-esteem, social withdrawal or a loss of interest or enthusiasm, repression, avoidance of certain situations such as refusing to go to school or ride the bus, appears to desperately seek affection, a decrease in school performance or loss of interest in school. Alright, thank you. That brings us to the first part of the presentation. Now I will leave over to my colleague to take it on from where and left.
Hello, I'm also Kuias. I will continue from where my friend left the presentation. That he left on the both uh, signs and symptoms of signs and symptoms. The fifth one is that neglected signs and symptoms. Poor growth is one of the signs of the neglected signs and symptoms of the child abuse. Excessive weight with a medical complication that are not being adequately addressed, poor personal hygiene, a lack of clothing or supplies to meet physical needs, during or stealing, poor record of school attendance, lack of appropriate attention of medical or dental or physical problem, or a lack of necessary follow-up care. Now go to parental behavior to child when child is abused. Sometimes a parent's behavior sends red flags about a child abuse. Warning signs includes a parent's so little concern for the child when child is abused, appears unable to recognize physical or emotional distress in a child, blames a child for the problems, describe child with negative terms, uses as a physical discipline, several limit the child's contact with others. Physical punishment of the child when child is abused. The child health expert condemn the use of violence in form, but people still use physical punishment such as spanking to discipline their children. While parents and caregivers often use physical punishment with the intention of helping their children or making their behavior better. Any physical punishment may leave emotional scars to children. Parents' behaviors that cause pain, physical injuries, or emotional trauma to children. When to see a doctor when child is abused. If you concerned that your child or other child has been abused, seek help immediately. Depending on the situation, you can contact the child's health care provider or a local child welfare agency, community leaders, or police when they are. The effects of child abuse on a child. Some children overcome the physical and psychological effects of child abuse. Those with strong social support and resilience skills who can adopt and cope with a bad experience. The effects are physical issues on child, physical disabilities on child, premature death on child, learning disabilities on child when they are attending school, health problems such as heart disease, diabetes, chronic lung disease, and cancer. Behavioral issues on child in the societies, illegal or violent behavior, abuse of others, suicide attempt or self-injuries on child, emotional issue, high risk or sexual behavior. Prevention method of child abuse. The first one is volunteer your time, get involved with others or parents in the community, help vulnerable children and their families. Number two, you can help discipline your child thoughtfully. Never discipline your child when you are upset. Keep yourself time to calm down. Remember that discipline is a way to teach child. Use privilege to encourage good behavior, and time out to help a child regain control. The third one is examine your behavior. Abuse is not just physical, both words and actions can inflict lasting wounds. Be nurturing parents, use your action to show our children and others that conflict can be settled without eating or yelling. The number four prevention method is be a nurturing parents. Children need to know that they are special, loved, and capable of love. following their dreams. Help a friend, neighbor, or relative. Yes, the number 5, a prevention method. Being a parent isn't easy. Offer help and take care of children so that parents can rest or spend time off. Number 6, prevention method is help yourself. When the big and little problems of everyday life pile up to the point you feel overwhelmed and out of control, take time out. Don't take it out on your child. And number 6 prevention method. Number 6 is that. Then the number 7 is if your baby cries, it can be frustrating to hear your baby cry. Learn what to do if your baby won't stop crying. Never shake a baby, or shaking a child may result in severe injury or death. And number 8 is get involved. Get involved. As a parent, you can get involved. Ask your community leaders, clergy, library, and a school to develop services to meet the needs of healthy children and the families. And number 9 is helping to develop parenting resources at your local library. Find out what your local library has parenting resources, and if does not, offer to help obtain some. Number 10 prevention method is promote programs in school to prevent child abuse. Teaching children, parents, and teachers prevention strategies can help to keep child safe. And 11 is monitor your child television, video, and internet viewing or usage. The excessive watching violent film, TV programs, and videos can harm young children. The 12 is volunteer at a local child abuse prevention program. For information about volunteer opportunities, you can call 1-800 children or contact your local prevention child abuse care center for help to be part of it. The 13th prevention method is report suspected abuse or neglect. If you have reason to believe a child has been or may be harmed, call your local department, child and family service, or your local police department to help abuse child. The summary of that presentation where the introduction comes to body, and now I have to summarize. The last part is summary of the child abuse is one of the burning issues of the world that affects many children around the world under the 18 years. There are 5 forms of abuse, child abuse, that happening around the world, affects many children. The first abuse form is physical abuse. The second abuse form is sexual abuse. The third one is emotional abuse. The fourth one is medical abuse, and the fifth and the final form of abuse is neglect. There are different forms of abuse. Abuse have different signs and symptoms that you can identify in your societies. There are also prevention methods for avoiding child abuse in your child. You can see the prevention method and help yourself to protect your child from being abused in a society. Thank you. That's the end of my presentation. Hope you get what we have said in this video. It will help you, help your children and the society, so you can help protect the child from being abused. Thank you. That again.